And now the conclusion.
Red Terror and White Revival.
Yeah, that's a shit band name.
That's yeah.
Red Terror, White Revival.
No, yeah. I mean, for certain time periods, that would have been really hot, but I think
we're past it.
We're past
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. As the Red Army returned to Ukraine in December, its commander Trotsky issued a secret order on the 11th of that month, which essentially proposed that the Makhnoists were to be disbanded, absorbed by the Red Army, turned into cannon fodder, and ruthlessly punished if they refused to fully submit to Bolshevik command or displayed any unruliness or self-will.
LOL. Yeah.
How do you feel about being slaves?
How do you feel about being slaves and having no choice but to do anything? Like, we've been kicking the fucking loyalist ass for the last year.
Yeah, and the Red Army is taking credit for it, and also undermining everything you do.
Yeah, well, we've killed your people before. We'll do it again. Like, bitch, what the fuck?
Don't make me do this, old man.
How many times do I have to teach you? Trotsky, you shady bitch.
Yes, exactly. It also stated that the rural population had to be unconditionally disarmed given their close links to the insurgent army. By early January, the Red Army had broken through the White Front in two places, splitting the forces into three. And on January 9th, 1920, Nestor Makhno was outlawed by the Bolsheviks on an engineered pretext. They had ordered the Makhnovist forces to the Polish border.
You mean the Polish border?
Sorry, Polish border. What did I say?
You said Polish porter. I make that mistake all the time, but I
love the Polish porter.
The Polish porter.
Great drink.
Made me think I was having an aneurysm for a second.
Away from their homeland, knowing fully well that they would never obey and that half of the insurgents, including the entire staff and Nestor himself, were in hospital with typhus.
Oh, fuck.
Typhoid fever.
Maybe they will be successful. And I mean, I get.
We still have 10 pages.
And we know that the Soviet Union exists. It existed.
Yes. Yeah.
So we kind of know
it ain't gonna end happy. This started 9 months of fighting between the Makhnovists and the Red Army. That's another extra war. They just kicked off another extra war.
Yeah, when are they not doing that? Like, I'm not surprised.
Red Army is the kid with the bicycle meme and the stick.
Oh, yeah. Yep. They just cannot stop
falling down. Fuck you, Makhno. Crazy.
It's more like the Eric Andre meme where Hannibal shoots him 5 times. Why would Makhno do this?
Yes.
Why would Makhno do this?
And the Bolsheviks weren't holding back. Not only did they largely refuse to use local troops for fear of fraternization, relying instead on Chinese and Baltic forces, as Michael Palish describes, this is happening again.
Chinese forces?
Well, not Chinese, but, influence sphere of Russia now. They are not using Russians on the front lines mostly. They're using people from Kyrgyzstan and all those other countries.
Oh, really?
Yes. As cannon fodder. So,
of course.
100 years later, nothing has changed. Nothing. Did Putin just literally read like a Trotsky thing?
He's plagiarizing his forefathers.
Did Ben CC Putin on this? We asked him not to do that.
You're not gonna believe.
Wow.
But I mean,
Damn.
if he's gonna steal ideas from anywhere, you would steal from the
somebody better, somebody
from
more
the people
successful.
who were successful.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well,
which is
you can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, I mean that's.
As Michael Palish describes, they also, quote, attacked not only Makhno's partisans, but also the villages and towns in which the population was sympathetic toward Makhno. They shot ordinary soldiers as well as their commanders, destroying their houses, confiscating their properties, and persecuting their families. Moreover, the Bolsheviks conducted mass arrests of innocent peasants who were suspected of collaborating in some way with the partisans. It is impossible to determine the casualties involved.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sort of their whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've suspected that you are doing very naughty things.
Yeah. It smells counter-revolutionary in here. I don't know why he's a Nazi, but yeah, this is basically the same fucking playbook.
They also did that too.
Yeah. As if that weren't enough, the Bolshevik attack on the Makhnoists also allowed the Whites to regroup under General Pyotr Wrangel.
Who's Wrangel?
Wrangel, yeah, thus prolonging the Russian Civil War for close to another year.
Oh my god. So a power vacuum was formed.
Yeah, and then another guy stepped in and was like, how about Tsarists again?
Yeah. Let's bring it back. By not really popular.
The McRib is back! And it has been more atrocious than ever.
But yeah, this is sort of goes to show that, like, when the left is too busy eating itself,
in this case, it's not the left. Like, the Soviets are not leftist at that point.
They're on paper left.
Yeah, on paper left. Yeah. Again, this is fascism.
I mean, they united
rebranded.
For a reason.
Yeah.
You know, like when they're too busy cannibalizing.
Yeah.
Then.
Yes.
Yeah, you let the fascists win.
Exactly. As their, quote, policy of terror and exploitation turned almost all segments of Ukrainian society against the Bolsheviks.
Were they not already against the Bolsheviks?
No, but now extra hardcore. Like even the guys who first sympathized with the Bolsheviks because they got rid of the Tsarists, now they're like, no, fuck that.
Yeah, they fucking killed my dog. Like, why? I'm not.
Then they made me eat him. Like, yeah. And then they said it was a Jewish dog.
They said he was counter-revolutionary because he sniffed one of Makhno's fucking leaflets. He ate my homework.
Yeah, exactly. Wrangel, believing that the Makhnovists would be willing to ally with him against Lenin, sent a delegate to them, whom the insurgents immediately executed.
Yo, really?
See, they didn't make the mistake twice.
Yeah.
They're like, nope, these anti-Semites we are not working with.
But I do like that these guys continue to make the same mistake twice, where they send people that they know are racist into the lion's den for racists. And then they really expected
this.
They expected a fucking handshake and high five from the fucking.
Meanwhile, they have all the "this gun kills fascists" stickers on it, like,
and it's literally been used to kill fascists. It's like you're kind of stupid for thinking anything else.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Naturally, this did not stop the Bolsheviks from later claiming that the Makhnovists had indeed allied with the Whites.
Oh my god, yeah.
Gossip! But the Makhnovshchina still perceived the Reds as the lesser evil and actually proposed another anti-white alliance to them. The Bolsheviks made no reply. They left him on red.
I mean,
left him on red.
In fairness, I'm also anti-white. So. I think it's fair to say everyone on this podcast is anti-white.
Yes, at this point we're firmly in the anti-white camp.
Anti-white category.
Oh, these whites. Yes, of course.
Yeah. These two, but
I love a lot of whites, but not these ones.
Yeah. I've got a couple white friends.
There's some good whites out there.
Yeah,
good whites.
Yeah. But not these whites.
In July and August 1920, the insurgents went once more on the offensive. Between their raids and the success of Wrangel's offensive, which was renewed in September, the Red Army found itself on the back foot again, and eventually decided to forge an alliance with the Makhnovists after all. I guess we do it again, fine.
This is like ping pong on the fucking plains.
Yeah.
They're just ping-ponging alliances. Like, please.
Mikhail Frunze.
Oh, we got a new character, new challenger.
The new Red Army commander of the Southern Front ordered a stop to hostilities against the revolutionary insurgents on October 2nd. Fighting alongside the commies once more, 10,000 Makhnovists managed to retake Huliapol between the 4th and 7th of October, followed by the city of Oleksandrivsk on the 22nd, where 4,000 white prisoners were taken. Arshinov recounts the events there. Quote, they immediately invited the working population to participate in a general conference of the workers of the city. Meeting time.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Again. I mean,
maybe somebody gets shot again. That was the last meeting, and that was pretty dope.
Yeah, I would go.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, after
I'm going.
Maybe this sequel is good.
Yeah. Well, because the last meeting was successful.
Yes.
You know, like this, I could see why they would go back this time.
When the conference met, a detailed report was given on the military situation in the region, and it was proposed that the workers organize the life of the city and the functioning of the factories with their own forces and their own organizations, basing themselves on the principles of labor inequality. The workers enthusiastically acclaimed all these suggestions. From this point, the proletariat of Alexandrovsk began to turn systematically to the problem of creating organs of self-management.
Yeah, because they were always really good at that.
Mm-hmm.
They were always really good at conducting their own themselves.
The Bolsheviks, of course, didn't like this in the slightest, and as they had done in Katarinoslav, set up a revolutionary committee, a Revkom, to try and make sure the workers did not get ahead of the party, which Nestor handled similarly as he had done in Katarinoslav, according to Ashenov.
Hell yeah.
Quote, at Alexandrovsk, the members of the Revkom went so far as to propose to Makhno a division of spheres of action, leaving Makhno the military power and reserving for the committee full freedom of action and all political and civil authority. Makhno advised them to go and take up some honest trade instead of seeking to impose their will on the workers.
Nice.
Fucking touch grass, dude.
Get a job.
He even threatened to put to death the members of the Revkom if they undertook any authoritarian measures against the working population.
Nice.
Yes!
We don't turn down anyone unless you're super racist, but we're telling you to stop. This is a state-sanctioned...
I love Makhno.
Yeah.
He's such a good...
Please make yourself useful to society. That's all we ask.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
want to be useful to the revolution? Fucking get
Or
a
at least
job.
don't be destructive to society. That's, I think, his golden standard is like, don't fuck shit up more than they already are.
Just go on to 4chan or something. Like, do your little shit.
Go on your Reddit, on your
Yeah.
Black Pill Reddit.
Yeah, like fucking make your congresses online. except I was gonna say, like, they already formed another congress to protest the other congress, basically.
Yeah.
So,
Well, not protest, undermine, because again, it's the Russians.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah. Meanwhile, a formal political and military agreement between the Red and the Black was signed between the 10th and 15th of October. The political agreement simply granted the anarchists the rights they should have already had according to the Soviet constitution.
Well, you can have it now.
New rights just dropped.
Well, no, not new.
No, yeah, old rights just dropped.
This is like when the Declaration of Independence says, like, all men are created equal.
Yeah, they didn't
and
have push notifications on.
They didn't have push notifications, but also that didn't apply to anyone that wasn't like a white man, basically.
Who owned property.
Who owned property specifically. So it's like, well, we'll let you do it if you...
Yes.
We'll let you have the rights if you just join us, or
Yeah.
right? Is that
Basically. While the military one made them formally part of the Red Army again, once more getting to keep their internal structure while also prohibiting them from welcoming any regular Red Army troops or deserters into their ranks. As can be seen from Bolshevik sources, they had no intention whatsoever of honoring the agreement for a second longer than it was beneficial to them. Yeah. Just...
Not for a second.
no takesies, backsies? No, say it.
American propaganda should have like honed in on this way more than it should have.
Yeah, you can't trust them.
You can't trust them. Look at this.
The Russians.
I mean, you literally can't trust them. And also, if they knew anything about, or if they were, because the problem is that the problem that the CIA and the governing bodies at the time had with Russia was just that they were just jacking their they're jacking their style, and they were doing it in the name of something that's not like profit in capitalism.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they're not concerned about like truth and honesty or whatever.
No.
I like imagining that they were so caught up on that they didn't even bother to mention the actual problems with fucking Soviet
Don't
Russia.
complicate things.
Don't get into that.
Don't get facts into this.
Because then you'll have to start talking about the anarchism and all the other stuff, and then people will start asking questions.
It's tainted by a thing that is even more hated by them.
Yeah, which is people who like Jews. We can't have them finding out that these guys used to like Jewish people.
Oh yeah, right. 1920 American Congress was probably stacked to the rim with fucking anti-Semites.
Yeah.
The only reason that we weren't giving the Russians or the Ukrainians any of the army's fucking weaponry is because we were too busy fucking like throwing parties and like blowing all our money and buying houses on credit and just like living our fucking fucking Great Gatsby ass lives. We did not want anything to do with motherfuckers. We did not want anything to do with Europe. We're like, fuck you guys. We didn't want to get involved before, and now we're really fucked up emotionally and physically.
So the flappers are the TikTok dance of the time.
Pretty much,
Yeah, distracting.
Actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, old sport.
Well, the war is hanging.
Yeah, they're like,
happening
fuck
on the other side of the
Last
planet.
time we tried to help you, you gave us all shell shock, so we don't want to get involved. We literally invented a disorder because of this.
We had to call them doughboys.
Yeah. So of course we're gonna let the dames drink illegal liquor and
Have some absinthe. Why don't you? The fourth and final of the regional congresses of the Makhnovщina was held in Oleksandrivsk between the 20th and 26th of October 1920, with 270 delegates, 1 per 3,000 civilians or per military unit. The Congress chairman, Volin, describes, quote, the idea of free Soviets generally functioning in the interests of the working population. That you have to say genuinely.
Generally.
The idea.
Because the fucking Bolsheviks has fucked it up so much for us, we have to put the word genuinely in front of it now.
I was gonna say, like, everything you're describing, the idea of them working freely and having like rights, that's like antithetical to their whole thing.
So funny. All right.
Generally, we don't have a problem with it, but
All right, continuing to quote. The question of direct relationships between peasants and city workers based on mutual exchange of the products of their labor, the launching of a libertarian and egalitarian socialist organization in the cities and the country, all these questions were seriously and closely studied by the delegates themselves, with the assistance and cooperation of qualified comrades. The Congress, so experts, nice. The Congress decided that the workers, doing without any authority, would organize their economic, political, and administrative life for themselves by means of their own abilities and through their own direct organs, but united on a federative basis. All right, so yeah, we're trying to do a normal country now, please, without the drawbacks.
please, I'm begging you.
Just let us be.
Can we please just be a country? We've had 93 insurrections.
At least. That was just 1919.
That was
just in 1 year.
1919.
We are already in the next year, so there's probably we talked about 2 different wars.
Can we please just stop a civil war? I'd be tired too. I just want to go home to my wife.
My school teacher wife.
School teacher wife.
Ashinov gives this account of the Congress. Quote, the peasants, among whom there were old and even ancient men,
wow,
weird this,
yeah,
said that this was the first Congress where they felt not only perfectly free and their own masters, but also real brothers, and that they would never forget it. And, indeed, it is hardly likely that anyone who took part in that Congress could ever forget it. For many, if not for all, it remained engraved forever on their memories as a beautiful dream of the life in which true liberty would bring men together, giving them the opportunity to live united at heart, joined by a feeling of love and brotherhood.
Even if they're old.
Or ancient. What does old mean?
55?
What does ancient mean?
Yeah.
160?
Yeah.
Methuselah is there?
There was 2 Egyptians there. It was like
Fucking
ancient.
mummies.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're my brother, even though you're like 47.
I'm old, but you're ancient.
In military matters, meanwhile, the Makhnovists proved once again more than valuable in defeating the White Guards, as even Bolshevik sources from that time had to admit, slicing through Wrangel's rear and attempting to cut off his retreat by seizing the Crimean passes. By November 11th, Wrangel was forced to the Fort Wrangler was forced to order a general retreat to the ports and an evacuation.
Would it be fair to say he wrangled Crimea? I'll see myself out.
Hello. I'll allow it.
It's accurate.
Yes, when news of this reached Huliapol a few days later, Nestor's aide, Hirhori Vasilivsky. Hirhori, yeah. Hirhori.
The way you pronounced it, like it was like an exasperated.
I am exasperated by these names. have never had to these mouth gymnastics.
Hey, these guys are doing real gymnastics, trying to build a country. Meanwhile, you're just trying to pronounce a single name correctly, a single word in this document correctly.
It was the best generation, truly. It's the end of the quote. It's the end of the agreement. I'll bet you anything that the Bolsheviks will be on us within the week. Frunze, that's the guy that's in charge of the Soviets.
Yeah. Our new baddie.
Yeah. Yes.
He's in charge of the Soviets.
Yes, yeah. He's definitely not a good guy. Frunze had indeed already concentrated troops near Holeopole while ordering Makhno and his men to the Caucasus front. On November 24th, he issued a secret order, giving the Makhnoists until the 26th to depart for the Caucasus or face the same treatment as Franke. Naturally, he failed to inform the insurgents of this deadline. Lenin, meanwhile, urged Christian Roskovsky, head of the Ukrainian Soviet government, to, quote, keep a close watch on all anarchists and prepare documents of a criminal nature as soon as possible on the basis of which charges can be preferred against them. Can you please manufacture some evidence, please, that we can...
Proffer.
The moment we are in charge, we can kill all of them real quick? Please. I would like a list of some sort. Yeah.
I can't stop thinking Can they just stab Lenin? Can they just kill him?
A lot of people tried.
No, I'm just thinking or not Lenin, like the other guy.
Frunze?
Yeah, Frunze.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking I'm imagining if I was in that situation where I just want to go home, I'm tired of fighting, I would just make everything more chaotic. It's not like it can get worse.
Yeah.
It's already so chaotic, and they're already trying to do all these false flag operations. Just fucking kill him.
Stab him.
Just fucking kill him. You don't need to ally with him. You don't need it that badly. You really don't. You guys are already...
Not anymore.
I just want to go home to the countryside. I want to ride my chonka back to the... Because I'm going to need it to get home.
I just don't want to do a little joyride with my tajanka, and you're just harshing my vibe over here.
You're just harshing my vibe.
Look, we've slapped the white forces 2 times in a row.
Several times.
With less numbers, less equipment, and less foreign support, you know?
It's like the foreign support could not be any lower.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
Now.
Yeah, it's negative.
Yeah, it's negative, and you guys are here, and you're not even foreign. It's just can I would be so fed up. I'd just be like, just. I wouldn't even care where I was aiming. I'd just be like, can you...
You're gonna hit an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. I'd just fire something into the sky and then have people scatter. I just be like, stop, really. I just want to go home.
Next chapter. Bolshevik Betrayal 2, Marxist Boogaloo.
This is a great title.
Yes. The second Bolshevik betrayal began as planned on the 26th of November. At 3 in the morning, to be precise, which in military strategy is considered a dick move. Good one, Ben. The surprise attacks were swift and brutal, if not entirely surprising. One of the Makhnovist commanders was lured to a meeting and murdered. These meetings are so deadly.
Don't go. Yeah, be careful. The meeting.
Makhnovist. Sorry.
After what happened, I kind of don't. For once, I don't blame him for wanting to go to the meeting.
Yeah,
because he expected to see other people die. But instead, he got it. It was his turn.
The Makhnovist cavalry stationed at Semferopol, which numbered anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 men, managed to break through the Bolshevik ranks that had encircled them, but only 250 made it out to the other side.
Oh my god!
So we're talking 10 to 5% survivability. Fuck. Simultaneously, the Bolsheviks started rounding up all known anarchists in Ukraine, many of which were in the Soviet Ukrainian capital of Kharkiv for a legally organized Nabat conference. By December 1st, the Bolshevik government, through their victory over the workers and peasants, secured, only for Makhno to completely rout the Red Army's 42nd Division, and this on the 2nd, taking 6,000 soldiers prisoner. A third of which joined the Makhnovists.
Wow.
This is a great way of fighting. Every time you win, you get a bunch of your other guys' shit.
It's like
that's how convincing you are.
That's like when you're playing chess and you get your pawn to the other side of the board, and you get to take one or a couple back with you.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, now I have a queen there. Yeah. Fuck you.
How old is Botko in this picture?
This is towards his end of his life, I think. Yeah, so I think it's.
Are you sure he's not in his early 20s in this picture?
After all this shit?
After all of this shit.
That might be, yeah.
Because he's very, very good looking guy.
Yeah,
frankly.
That school teacher really.
Yeah, she
got it.
She got it. I'm curious to see if there's any pictures of the school teacher, though.
They should have had him look the other way, I think, considering the giant scar on the right side of his face.
Oh,
that looks awesome.
Good side? Yeah.
That is the better side.
Yeah.
That is the better side.
Yeah.
I convinced you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's
just like the Anarchist convinced us.
But it's like you want to not have that side showing, buddy. This is going to be forever. It's like
right.
It's a big part of who you are is this huge hole in your face.
It's like yes.
Yeah.
Or it's like, what you mean to tell me? No, it says a lot about who him fighting. For everything is literally his life. It's literally his entire personality. He does nothing else. He's telling other people to get a fucking job. He has no other hobbies. He's got nothing else. What do you mean? Yeah, this should be forever. That is him. That is an accurate depiction of who this man is. I rest my case.
The good version of Scarface, yes.
Yeah, kind of.
So a third of which joined the Makhnovists, while also retaking Huliapol in the process.
Oh, nice.
Again, Makhno is crazy.
They're just playing hot potato with this city.
Oh, yeah.
What's the city called again?
Huliapol,
yeah. They're just...
Yeah. In the ensuing fights, the Ukrainian insurgents had the great advantage that the people were firmly on their side, supplying them with horses, food, and accurate information, while the Red Army was generally denied any help whatsoever, if not deliberately misled. No, they went this way. Totally, dude.
Yeah, the Red Army's really good at that. Why would you ever trust the Red Army?
You don't. That's it.
Well, then why would you listen to them when they say something?
Well, gun. There's still the argument of gun, you know?
It's the only argument that they have. That's the only
it's a good argument.
Not if you also have guns.
No, then...
And the airplanes you stole from your other enemies.
Right. In addition, Red Army troops were deserting in massive numbers and, in many cases, joining the Makhnovists. To discourage further desertions, Frunze ordered all insurgents taken prisoner to be shot.
They can't get all of them.
This is still... Yeah, 1910. We're before Geneva Convention stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So they're just like insurgents, enemy combatants that gave up. Let's just kill them. The Makhnovists did not reciprocate in kind, generally shooting only the commanders, unless their soldiers strongly interceded in their favor. No, bro, I'm vouching for my commander. All right, you too, I guess. He's a good guy, believe me.
You should have been nicer to us.
Right,
we're not going to stand up for you.
This is what Caesar could only dream of. Someone so devoted to his general's cause.
Right, and setting the rank and file free, as proved by the fact that the Red Army had rounded up detachments to recollect any prisoners freed by the insurgents. They had to have a separate detachment just for that.
Imagine being the guy that like vouched for their boss just to find out that everyone else got released. What the fuck?
Truly betting on the wrong horse.
Yeah.
God, I suck at gambling. All right, Batko Makhno, by this time also known by the somewhat less impressive nickname Mali, which stands for Shorty.
Yeah, that is less impressive.
They called him a short king.
Shorty.
How tall is he?
170. He was.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wow,
yeah,
which then was even taller. It's like right. I mean, it was pretty tall then.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's average. I looked it up. It's about average.
That's how tall like Napoleon was.
Yeah.
I think I'm like a centimeter taller than you.
You gotta get that one over on
in the morning.
Him and the guy who runs a lot in movies.
That's a lot. Tom Cruise?
Yes, exactly. I'm like 2 centimeters taller than Tom.
Oh my god, that's 2 centimeters away from Scientology. If you were any shorter, you would have been susceptible. You wouldn't have been able to run fast enough.
So Shorty won victory after victory against the Bolsheviks, who kept continuously declaring the final defeat of the Ukrainian insurgents for close to a year.
He did all of that while being 170. Fellas,
you
never
can
give up.
Yeah, exactly. You also can have a hot
school teacher,
exactly,
wife who is also a badass.
Yeah, who's a spy who can fucking murder you.
Who has everyone's respect. He's literally like what most like incels want to be. Like, yeah, I get to kill people and everyone loves me, and I get to be a badass and everyone claps, and then I get to go home and I get to have sex with my beautiful wife who is also a badass. It's that's so, actually that might also be my actually that might also
you want the spy wife?
Oh man, actually
spy wife for
I take it back. Incels, you're okay.
Your dreams are okay.
Your dreams are okay. Except I don't want to kill people. I just want everything.
Just gotta,
I just want a badass wife to step on me.
My anarchist wife, yeah, exactly.
My anarchist wife.
His victories not only supplied Nestor with arms and ammunition, but also made his ranks swell. By the end of 1920, the revolutionary insurgent army...
It's not the only thing he made swell.
Hello.
Hey, yo. Sorry, it was right there.
Yeah, no, I get it. I was like, all right, let's...
stole it.
No. It's a joke from all of us.
Yeah, for the people.
This is a people's joke.
Yeah.
Was between 10 to 15,000 strong. As Mikhail Palish explains, quote, the growing strength of the Makhno army and its successes caused serious concern in the Bolshevik regime. So it was decided to increase the number of troops opposing Makhno.
Good call.
For people at the problem until the people and the problem go away. The Russian solution, 100 years later, still the same.
And they have people, right? That's what they have.
Yeah, 130 million people that you can just throw into the fucking cinder.
I feel like they would have more people if they weren't killing.
They might have more population.
I don't know. Crazy thought, but
the wood chipper is not a good way of spending your human resources.
It's a little, they're not. They're for the people, and.
Damn.
I can't think of a good comparison.
So, as ever more divisions were sent to Ukraine to annihilate the Makhnovshchina, it became clear to Nestor that his hopes of destroying a few divisions and forcing the Bolsheviks to retreat and leave his home alone were in vain. It was now clear that Lenin and his subordinates were determined to eradicate the anarchists who had saved their worthless asses in the Civil War at all costs.
Worthless asses.
Ben is, I get it. He's angry
cheeky.
at this. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of am sympathetic now.
I'm getting it. We're getting it now.
I'm getting it a little bit.
Hit it.
Yeah. They increased their terror on the rural population, executing sympathizers and the partisans' families. The Revolutionary Military Council decided that they could not hope to hold the region in southern Ukraine and had to expand and stay on the move to have any chance of escaping the Bolshevik onslaught. Makhno spread his activities across the whole country and beyond into neighboring areas of Russia, with the Bolsheviks always on his heels. As Palish describes, quote, Makhno was constantly surrounded by a network of red troops and pursued by small detachments, especially by cavalry and armored car units. Oh, so now we're getting into that territory, 1920. Okay, so the Russians already have their armored cars now, which is a car.
They have cars.
Hey, all right.
They have,
planes, trains, and automobiles.
We are there
they
now.
Finally have a car.
That's wild.
Yeah.
A single one.
No, armored car units, so they have a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All his movements either along or across railroad lines were watched and harassed by armored trains. Fuck! Russian armored trains suck! No, because they have like big ass cannons and shit on them. Yeah. They have like artillery pieces on a train.
Whoa.
Yeah, their Russian armored trains look badass.
Yeah, I'm scared just hearing about it.
But it's like stuck full with machine gun nests, artillery pieces, all of the...
Bro.
It seems kind of gaudy, though, not gonna lie. It seems like a lot.
It's a little much.
It's Russian. It's Russian. Yeah.
It's Russian. If they're good at one thing, it's It's military parades.
Yeah, and make it big.
They're better at better than Nazi Germany was at doing like a pageantry
They actually had a
fascism.
functional super tank, while the Germans didn't.
Yeah, they just pretended they did.
They had the mouse, and the mouse sucked.
They're much better at pageantry fascism.
Yes. They
At
have
the
more flair.
Yeah, they're a very flamboyant country for one that hates the gays and the Jews so much.
Well, there was the whole Night of the Long Knives, where the Nazis got rid of all the gay Nazis.
I was talking about Russia.
Oh, sorry.
I was talking about Russia.
Oh, yeah.
But them too. I mean,
Moreover.
that's why it's not gay enough. It's because they killed all of them.
Yeah. All right. Queer Eye.
Queer Eye.
Pre-World
We're
War
gonna
II edition.
yassify this train unit. Slay.
The feng shui of these machine gun nests is all off.
It's just the vibes are just not okay.
Yeah.
All right, go on.
All right. Moreover, continuing with the quote. Moreover, the partisans were barred from the main roads, and they had to move across the fields and roadless steppes. During the winter and most of the spring, such routes were covered with snow, ice, and mud. Although Makhno was thus able to avoid encounters with large red units, the conditions necessitated abandoning all his artillery and certain supplies. Makhno had to divide his army into small detachments to facilitate crossing enemy lines, after which they would reassemble in an agreed place. During these movements, the partisans destroyed railroad lines, blew up trains and bridges, and seized military supply stores. In spite of the difficult conditions, Makhno was able to attract some Red Army soldiers and even whole units to his side.
He keeps handing out the leaflets.
Yeah. Please read this.
Yeah.
Please read this. Can you?
Yeah. I mean, hey, if it works.
Yeah.
If it works.
Yeah.
Or is he just giving speeches?
Maybe both.
Do we ever find out why they're joining his side? Or does he just say, get in the car?
No. It's
it's voluntary.
Yeah, it's voluntary.
But it's war also, so, I mean.
Yeah, no, you still, of course, when they captured those 6,000 people and they said, hey, you want to join? The 2,000 that said, no,
You want to join?
Well, the 2,000 that said yes, I'm guessing there was some coaxing, but in the end, it's less than the Russian version, which is like, we're just going to murder you if you don't join.
Pretty much.
You know, it is more voluntary still.
It's a spectrum of volunteerism.
Yeah.
That's why I want to know, like, what their recruitment process was. I'm genuinely very
We don't
curious.
suck as much as the Red Army.
Yeah.
That's our main selling point. And we follow through on it.
Yeah.
And we have cool meetings where we sometimes kill fascists.
Yeah. They've got certainly better values, and they put their money where their mouth is.
Exactly, yeah.
It's much more respectable in that sense.
So far, this will be probably the first...
By far the longest
The
episode.
first triplet
Oh my.
of the podcast. Are you happy about being the first?
Let's finish it.
Tall
Let's
boy.
fucking finish this paper.
You are like
He's
looking
just
at this like, oh, motherfucker.
I keep watching the paper
6
go.
more pages.
Yeah, Ben.
You haven't met the man
Burn.
yet, but you already know how to interact with him.
This is why we need a government, Ben.
to stop you from this nonsense.
Need regulations.
Do you feel how do you feel knowing that this subject was chosen and Paul immediately thought of you as the subject?
I am offended. I think I would say.
Look, great Ching game recognizes great Ching game, you know?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, flattery will get you everywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll take it.
Americans.
Okay. Back on
How
board.
do you think we got to stay neutral after World War II?
That's true. That's absolutely accurate.
Just jerking everybody off left and right. Nestor and his troops were hounded here and there at one point from December to early January, fighting 24 battles in 24 days. On the 24th day of Christmas, I had to fight another battle against the Soviet army.
And a partridge in a pear
One
tree.
shot and one shotgun.
One shotgun. 5 manufactured pieces of evidence.
6 secret decrees by Trotsky. 7 times Lenin lied about us.
That's not that's not the melody of the song at all.
Fuck you. I'm a melodic as fuck.
No, also arrhythmic. That's not how that.
A-hole, yes.
Right, okay, so 24
4 battles in 24 days.
Oh my god. Again, this motherfucker's going out like, get a job.
Respect.
You get a job. You got literally nothing better to do.
It is crazy.
I mean, fair, respect, but Jesus, how do you sleep? Especially since they gotta worry about night attacks now. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they don't sleep well. This is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Was his wife there too?
No.
I don't know.
What do you mean no?
School's in session.
Oh shit.
No, it's the winter holidays.
Oh.
They're home, bro.
No. School's about to be in session. They're about to show those motherfuckers.
Exactly. Shotgun shul.
Shotgun sure.
Yeah. And the subsequent months followed that same general pattern. In early spring 1921, Nestor was seriously wounded in an engagement, lost a lot of blood, and was unconscious for a day, but once again managed to escape with his life. After he'd recovered enough to go back into the fight, he assembled 2,000 men, most of them cavalry, and marched on the Bolshevik headquarters in Kharkiv. They were met with strong resistance, the army suffering heavy losses, including several commanders over the next few weeks. Retreating south again, Nestor ran into yet more enemy forces under the command of Semyon Budyonny. But many of the Russian soldiers deserted, and out of their ranks the Makhnovists formed a unit that was sent back to their Siberian home to fight the Bolsheviks there.
Wow.
Get out of here.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Another run-in with the Budyonny's troops resulted in this eyewitness account from the Red Ranks. Quote, they, the Makhnovists, had evidently not seen us and were taken by surprise. We prepared to pursue them. We were sure they'd turn and flee. We outnumbered them 5-1. Well, before we knew it, they had galloped straight into us, slashing right and left with their sabers and shouting, "Liberty or death!" Their rank was so unexpected, so incredibly reckless that our men became panicky. We fled.
This is the Bernardo O'Higgins school of cavalry, of military.
The yeetology.
Yeetology. You just show up, go full speed, no regard for anyone else's safety.
All
not
gas,
even
no
your own.
brakes.
All gas, no brakes, exactly.
What a brilliant military strategy.
Yeah.
If you make it so insane that your enemy never thinks about it as a possibility, it's not a stupid idea, is it?
but who charged it?
The Makhnovists charged into the Soviets.
He's like, I fucking give up. I'm just going for it. Do so. No, he took my advice.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm just gonna kill him.
Yeet master.
What are they gonna do? Stop me? They're not gonna even see her coming.
That is amazing. In spite of all their courage, however, the Makhnovists' movement for working class freedom was slowly coming to an end in the face of Bolshevik state terror. As Palish writes, quote, the unequal fighting continued during the summer. The Bolsheviks began to use smaller, more flexible red units and armored cars in fighting Makhno. Meanwhile, through combat losses, hardship and sickness, the number of Makhno partisans was diminishing, and they were cut off from the main sources of recruits and supplies. The Ukrainian peasants were tired of the endless terror caused by the successive occupation of village after village by the Red troops and the Cheka. The continuous fighting and requisitions were leaving the peasants with little food and horses for the partisans. They could not live in a state of permanent revolution. Moreover, there was extreme drought and consequently a bad harvest in Ukraine, especially in the region of the Makhno movement.
Ooh, they're hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And typhoid.
And they're sick. Yeah.
What don't they have?
This is again, literally everything and everybody is trying to kill them.
Yeah, and it's never not been the case either. Like, this is not new.
Yeah.
Seems exhausting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. Again,
listening to this is exhausting.
Yeah.
Living through it must be hell, literally.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me. In addition, Lenin had introduced the so-called New Economic Policy, NEP, in March, replacing the old policy known as War Communism.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but not everything needs to be an acronym. New Economic Policy, NEP. NEP. Wow.
We're putting the NEP in nepotism. Guys, come on.
Anarchism, you don't need everything to
No, those are the communists.
The communists don't need to do that either.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking because anarchism has the non-aggression principle.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I was making a connection, but
Yes.
it's clearly false. So,
All right.
because anarchism is great and amazing, and we love you, Ben.
Yes,
but we
exactly.
also fucking hate you for this.
Well, we had to go through it. With this, he gave in to some of the demands raised by protesting workers across the Bolshevik Empire, ending the reckless requisitions so hated by the population. All right. This, in conjunction with years of brutal repression of all proletarians, peasants, and soldiers uprising against their Marxist masters, effectively ended the working classes' revolution's aspirations, ensuring the victory of Lenin's counter-revolution and securing their totalitarian state capitalist regime, with which would subjugate the workers of large parts of Eurasia for the next 6 decades, extend its brutal fingers globally, and both produce and inspire some of the worst tyrants in human history, including not just Mao Zedong and Pol Pot, but also Benito Mussolini, who called himself the Lenin of Italy.
Oh my God.
I love it, the pizza pie! Oh my, as long as you get all the slices.
I'm the Hitler of North Korea.
Ooh, Jesus
Christ.
Cool. All of them. Just a
amazing.
Just a great.
I really want to be associated with these
blunt nightmare rotation.
Yeah.
Mao Zedong, Pol Pot, and Benito Mussolini.
Wait, who do you think the...
Fuck, marry, kill? Yes, okay,
No, I was going to
go.
say dream nightmare rotation, including the characters we've had so far. So Botko, his wife.
For sure. Yes.
Who else?
That Jewish guy who didn't rat him out.
Who helped him.
Yeah, exactly.
Respect.
The guy who got shot in the face, we use him as a bong.
Oh, yeah. I just want him there so that everyone else can react to him. Yeah. He doesn't actually get the like, I just think it'd be funny.
Oh my God.
We don't really have a lot of good guys on this story.
No.
It's mostly bad guys.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, indeed.
Well, no, he's not in the story. Evidently, he is very much not in the story.
He's nowhere.
God has not touched his land.
Not at all.
Not anywhere in a very long time.
In the light of the terrible circumstances and the severity of Nestor's never fully healed wounds, it was decided that he would go abroad for medical treatment. On August 13th, accompanied by a unit of 100 cavalry, his wife, and several fellow wounded commanders, he set out west for Romania. The Bolsheviks, however, learned of his movement and were confident that they could stop his escape. As they passed through his wife Halina's home village, they were surrounded by Red Army troops. While they managed to get away, behind them, Nestor's father-in-law, who is quoted as saying, quote, "The whites and the reds are men too," was mercilessly shot by those reds.
That's right. That's what men do.
Fence sitter gets shot in face.
Yeah.
They really said no centrists allowed.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd like the name
There's
of our...
good guys on all sides.
Boom.
I don't think they'd like the name of our podcast.
Let's get domed.
They would not like the name of our podcast.
It's facetious. Come on.
We don't support centrism on this podcast. Nope. Liberty or death.
Exactly.
No,
truly.
But, so they're gonna kill him. He's gonna die, basically.
They're trying to, at least.
There's 3 pages left.
Yeah. On August 19th, they ran into the Red Army's 7th Cavalry Division. As they were spotted, Makhno attacked their machine gun unit, capturing 16 machine guns, then attacked the rest of them, cut a passage through, and rode 117 kilometers, or 73 miles, to the Romanian border, while under hot pursuit.
Wow.
I'm literally in a car chase right now. Imagine you're on your way to the hospital, but you're being chased by police.
Oh, on his way to Lee? Wow,
Yeah.
That's badass,
Yeah.
dude.
So funny. That's so fucking crazy.
That's amazing.
You're not stuck. I'm not stuck.
I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
Yeah, exactly.
It
That's
took us
Botko.
so long to get there.
Yeah, but man,
it didn't take Botko this long.
This is crazy.
And
This is he's wounded.
Yeah, he's wounded, and there are people trying to kill him actively.
That's badass.
And he's going to the hospital, and he ran.
Do you think he was happy that his father-in-law got shot in the mouth? It's like, don't have to visit him anymore. Christmas is so much easier now. Also, we don't believe in Christmas. All right. This maneuver cost him the lives of 15 comrades and another serious wounding on August 22nd. So he got wounded again.
Damn.
While fleeing to get his wound fixed.
Oh my god. He's gonna die of like a bacterial infection or something at this rate.
Following another attack and the killing of 2 of their commanders, Makhno's troop finally managed to cross the Dniester into the Kingdom of Romania on August 28, 1921. Woo! We are clear for now. Last chapter. Exile and death. Some of the Makhnovist forces were still active in Ukraine, with the Cheka seizing 20 machine guns and 2,833 rifles in the newly created Zaporizhia, formerly Oleksandrivsk province alone. Zaporizhia, by the way, is the area that's also being fought over right now.
Oh.
Wow, Zaporizhia.
Yeah.
It's called Separation.
Zaporizhia.
Zaporizhia.
It has like 3 Z's in it, you know?
Not separation.
No, it's Zaporizhia.
It's like that's a bit on the nose.
Yeah,
isn't
that would
it?
be very on the nose.
Okay.
Fuck off, county.
Sorry, yeah.
So they seized all of those machine guns and rifles in Zaporizhia province alone. But by the end of the year, the Ukrainian insurgents were finally pacified and every last achievement of the Russian Revolution gone without a trace. Although some Makhnovists would continue operating clandestinely throughout the 20s and even operated as partisans during World War II. Damn.
This whole thing lasted like 3 years.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It lasted us 3 hours.
Yeah.
But it's lasted this guy 3 years.
Jesus. Nestor would never return to Leopold, which had changed hands no less than 16 times over the course of the Civil War.
Wow, over 3 years?
16
Wow,
times.
16 times.
That's almost as many.
16 tons rolling down.
I
What is it?
sold my soul for the company, for the communist.
There you go.
Yeah. Damn.
No, but
That is crazy.
seems like Botka was basically the only one holding up the
Yeah.
entire movement.
Yeah, it's a cult of personality at the same time. Again, it's the marketing thing. They finally had something that they can market this whole thing around, and that is
Yeah.
the legend of Batko, basically.
God, his life is so fucking hard. Because you've got all that other stuff, and you literally can't fuck up ever.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I bet half the reason he
No
killed those.
margin of error.
Yeah, if he had even hesitated or flinched at killing those anti-Semites,
Yeah.
that could have gone a very different way if you
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah.
'Cause there's just probably a lot like everyone's watching. I can't not
Mm-hmm.
do. Like he must have felt that way every single time.
Yeah,
he had to kill someone
that weight on you.
Yeah. Anyone who is like doing insubordination, really. Because
Yeah.
like I doubt he needed much convincing to kill a Nazi, but
Yeah.
but
You're making this easy for me right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Thank you. He actually
Thank you.
cries tears of joy. Finally, this is an easy one.
pretty much, yeah. But like any form of insubordination, which is a very fine line to walk if you're an anarchist as well, because
Yeah.
you're supposed to be okay with that.
Jesus Christ. Nestor's problems did not end in Romania.
I fucking don't think it would.
However, as Moscow immediately contacted Bucharest, demanding Nestor's return by calling him a bandit and accusing him of a long list of heinous crimes, he,
He's the Edward Snowden.
in contrast to them, had never committed. They tried to pin their own crimes on him.
Good move.
5 manufactured pieces of evidence.
Fuck you. The Romanians refused to hand him over. Nice one, Romanians, but weren't too eager to keep him either.
And a show trial in a pear tree.
Quote by Skirta. Quote, in view of the deadlocked situation, Makhno and some of his companions decided to carry on regardless. They escaped from their internment camp and tried to cross the Polish border. They were picked up by Polish border guards who turned them back into Romania, whereupon the Romanian border guards sent them back to Poland. This is some Kafka shit.
It is, yeah. Holy shit.
This game dragged on all night until they were all at last accepted into Poland and shipped on the Polish like, kurwa, I guess so. Come in.
Oh my god, fucking Kafka's alive during this time. Isn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how the basis of his stuff.
Yeah.
He wrote
It's a pretty good idea.
Makhno fan fiction.
No, dude,
Yeah.
Kafka could only fucking dream of living Botko's life. He was the whole reason he exists is because he was brought up in bureaucracy. Botko is living fucking. I want a Freaky Friday where Kafka and Botko switch bodies and trade lives for a second.
Kafka gets immediately murdered.
Oh,
like
I immediately murdered.
Immediately. He lets his guard down once.
It's like, I don't want this anymore. And then fucking Vodka's like, I get to just walk into a store and not ravage anything.
I'm getting so much residuals on these books.
Yeah, so many residuals, and I have a law degree. Things are going great for me.
Much better.
Things are looking up Millhouse.
Yeah.
This game dragged on all night until they were at last accepted into Poland and shipped on April 12, 1922 to an internment camp. While Nestor tried to immediately move on to either Germany or Czechoslovakia, the Bolsheviks instead managed to get him locked up in a Polish prison using a forged letter, according to which he was allegedly trying to organize an uprising in Galicia.
Manufactured evidence.
And they're just so willing to believe them too, based on nothing. But I guess he hadn't ruined his goodwill with.
Guys, we also forgot he had TB all his life.
Oh
man, yeah, that's rough, dude.
He had typhoid and TB at the same time.
Oh my god,
dude.
He'd be like the worst like period piece movie character because he's constantly just coughing blood into a handkerchief.
Yeah. He has 2 handkerchiefs, both covered in blood.
While carrying a machine gun.
Bro.
With the
that's
scar.
why he invented the Kachanka, because he couldn't run. You know, he's like, I'm just wiped all the time. Can we do this on like
consistently winded?
Can I sit and murder?
He couldn't walk up a flight of stairs, and yet he took Leopold 16 times.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
But he had. I read something the other day that like TB can like render you infertile.
Oh, probably.
At least in women. I don't know if that's the case with men as well. But Jesus,
is that maybe the reason why he doesn't have kids?
That I'm just asking questions.
Yeah, because wartime fucking is,
Not like they would have had time either.
Well, you can, squeeze one in there.
There's always time to bust a nut.
Yeah, exactly.
Ladies, everyone,
am I
fellas,
right?
Yes,
am
exactly.
I right?
If there's one thing to be learned from this episode today, there's always time to bust a nut.
Busting makes me feel good.
This one goes out to all the nuts that weren't busted. I'm sorry. We're supposed to end this episode.
Yes. He would stay he would stay locked up for 13 months, which of course did wonders for his tuberculosis. During this time, his wife...
sit down.
Thank God for prison. I can finally rest.
His wife, locked up in a different prison, gave birth to their daughter Elena.
Wow.
Oh, so they did have a kid.
That?
Oh, hell yeah.
Nestor was only permitted to see them once.
Oh.
He probably died soon after.
Thanks in part to the international anarchist protests, as well as the fabricated nature of the charges against him, he was finally acquitted on November 17th, 1924, and, with some further difficulty, soon managed to cross the German border on foot, where he settled for a short while in Berlin. Uneasily, of course, as the authorities might at any time decide to arrest him for his past fights against their army. In April 1925, he moved on to Paris, rejoining his wife and daughter. Oh,
it's a happy ending.
Who had managed to get there directly from Poland the previous December. Here he could finally settle without great fear of persecution, being free from, as Alexander Skinner put it, quote, his many enemies. White Russians, Bolsheviks, Ukrainian nationalists, and other lesser species.
Whoa. Ben,
tell us how you really feel.
No, that's a direct quote by Alexander
Skinner. Okay, good.
Skinner is spitting fire.
Good. And Ben's not ranking races. He's just, okay.
Yeah, that's not great for an Austrian.
Yeah.
He lived out the rest of his life in the French capital, carefully remaining active in the anarchist movement, as any direct involvement in French internal politics would likely mean being immediately handed over to the Bolsheviks after all.
I was gonna say, how were they making... I guess she's a school teacher, but like, did she speak French or any other language but Russian or Ukrainian?
They probably learned or something. I don't know.
I guess it's so late in life.
Well, they're not that old.
How old
like
are
in
they?
the 40s, late 30s.
That's ancient in 1920.
Okay,
Are you fucking
But
kidding?
they've faced harder stuff than learning French in Paris.
they finally get
That's a
to
layup.
Yeah.
That's a layup.
Yeah.
they get to relax for once. I would absolutely not be using that time relaxing to learn.
1925. We're peak absinthe time as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
in France.
This is a good time. This is you know that movie Midnight in Paris?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
They're
dude.
living in that time
Yeah,
period.
exactly.
That's
As
nice.
Skinner put it, quote, as far as he was concerned, the fight went
He could
on.
have met F. Scott Fitzgerald.
He probably did.
He probably met it. Oh my
Though
god.
the pen had replaced the saber. His war wounds and tuberculosis continued to plague him, however. Quote by Skirder. For a time, Nestor found work as a smelter's assistant at a foundry. Hey, his first job, his first real
Get
job.
a job,
he's getting
dude.
back.
He who smelt it.
Short
Before
resume.
joining Renault. He worked for Renault,
Wait, what's
the car company.
Oh, that one. Oh,
He made the tanks too, the
oh
Renault
my god.
tank.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
As a lathe operator, but the state of his health obliged him to give up. Shake hands with danger.
That's not something that these
You
guys
know,
are gonna
but the state of his health obliged him to give up both these jobs. In fact, splinters from a dum-dum bullet were still lodged in the bones of his right ankle. Fuck.
Oof.
There's not a single. Did this job at least give him health insurance?
Bro.
Do they have health insurance?
What
France
is
in
that?
1924? Probably
It's
not.
France in 1924.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, it was the most liberal country
I
at
was
that point.
gonna say, like, yeah.
Maybe. But, fuck, I forgot that they shot with dum-dums.
What is that? The name of a gun? I thought
No,
that
that's
was.
a type of bullet that is outlowed specifically by the Geneva Convention. Because it's a type of bullet that is...
It fractures into small splinters.
no, those are legal. Those are fine.
Oh, that's fucked up.
No, this is a it's basically like a gun nuts. You're gonna
Correct us in the
yeah, because I'm
comments.
not 100% on this, but I think it's you have a hard part, then in the middle part you have a squishy part of metal, and then you have a hard part of metal again.
That
That's the
sounds like a rubber bullet, kind of.
well, no, it's still a steel tip or whatever.
Okay.
But you have like lead or something softer in the middle, so that when it enters the body, it squishes and like expands out, and it makes like holes in your body like this size.
Oh my god!
And you can't get the stuff out of you. It's in you for the rest of your life.
Well,
right?
if it goes through you, it just
You're
takes
lucky.
everything with you and you're dead.
Yeah.
If it stays in you, it fractures whatever bone it's next to, all the sinew, all of that gets obliterated. It's one of the worst bullets out there.
And
Wow.
he just lived. Oh, and he had to fight in wars with this in his fucking ankle.
dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
The wound had ulcerated and gave him atrocious pain, so much so that he could not bear to stand upright and walked with a pronounced limp. An operation in 1928 failed to cure his ankle, and amputation was averted only by his steadfast refusal.
And by him saying no, I'm keeping it.
Yeah, I'm keeping the shitty leg.
You can always, avoid amputation by refusal.
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah. No.
I told the fucking Soviets.
Thanks, but no.
Next, I'm good.
Yeah.
No, he told the Soviets no several
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
You think
man.
I'm gonna let some fucking French doctor take my leg?
He's all about.
you.
To see.
Yeah.
No, but oh my god, that's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Where's the doctor that cured fucking Adolphus Sachs's mouth cancer? We need
Yeah,
him.
we need him. Yeah.
We need him.
Yeah.
Because he was also in Paris.
What was it? Docteur Noir or something like that?
He was a
Oh.
black magic doctor.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. Fake. All fake, but still worked.
absolutely like a charlatan. But
worked.
he cured his cancer.
No, that's not a fake doctor then.
He's not a real licensed medical professional.
Sure.
All right. Along with that, he had a big old scar on the side of his face, stemming from a bullet that had hit him in the back of the head.
Whoa.
From the back of the head? I assumed he just got shot in the face.
Bro.
Holly, I love you. I love you so much.
I thought it was like a cut, but that's
Me
his
too.
face was blown apart and stitched back together.
So that's why he's gonna keep his leg if his face survived.
His neck got ventilated. That is insane.
There's
Damn.
not a single hardship this man hasn't been through.
Bro.
In fact, his treating physician, libertarian feminist Lucille Pelletier, described his body as being literally encased in scar tissue.
She's like,
Crazy.
she's like, anarchism, not even once. This'll kill you. Libertarianism all the way. I'm a doctor, but I also will only work for the highest bidder.
Oh, fuck. What's more, his wife moved out of their flat for a while so that so their little daughter would not catch her father's tuberculosis.
Oh, man.
My heart.
That poor man. Working together with his old friend Pyotr Ashinov. Hey, they're back together again.
Aww.
His prison buddy.
He's got friends.
Who had moved into the same building. Best sitcom premise ever. Nestor.
But Nestor. I've never seen Seinfeld still.
Nestor published a bi-weekly anarchist paper, Dello Truda, in which they tried to redefine the principles of libertarian communism in light of the lessons learned from the Russian Revolution, creating the organizational platform of the libertarian communists, which became the #1 controversy in the international libertarian movement of the day and remains controversial to this date, ironically for allegedly being too much like Bolshevism.
That would make me so fucking livid if someone said that to me. Like, I literally spent the majority of my life killing these motherfuckers, and you dare compare
me to them, yeah.
No, I would read the fuck out of these zines, because I would just read anything that this man wrote, because there's no way he could write something boring.
I love that you got 1 over compared to part 1 of this. It's amazing how much of a twist this is.
But I was never against the guy. I was against Ben being fucking annoying with his rhetoric. And I stand by it.
Spruce it up a little.
I'm sorry, I love you, Ben, but fuck you for this.
The platform was and is rejected by the majority of anarchists, while its defenders would, not unreasonably, argue that its relatively minor deviations from the libertarian ideal were born from practical experience. Well, inaugural meeting if one guy has hands-on experience with real anarchism, is Bartko.
Yeah.
This guy actually,
he's the final boss of anarchism.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, did you just say another meeting? They're having another meeting?
Yeah, what?
The inaugural meeting to discuss the platform, held in March 1927, attended by Russian, French, Polish, Bulgarian, Italian, Chinese anarchists, almost led to Nestor's deportation. Just a meeting. Again.
I thought this was going to end with him getting shot.
Around the same time, Nestor also had to wrestle with fabricated claims that he was an anti-Semite and had instigated pogroms on allegation first level against him by the Bolsheviks. Nestor issued an appeal, quote, to the Jews of all lands to provide evidence for any specific instances. To this day, none has been forthcoming, and as Jewish historian Ilyas Cherikova on his extensive investigation of delegations made clear, quote, it is undeniable that of all these armies, including the Red Army, the Makhnomists behaved best with regard to the civil population in general and the Jewish population in particular. I established this fact every time with absolute certainty at the place and on the date of the pogrom. No Makhnovists unit was operating or even located in the vicinity.
I just think that, of all people to have to prove that you are not anti-Semitic to, the French? Really? You fucking frog bastards are gonna accuse me of anti-Semitism? You motherfuckers constantly put people in prison.
Yeah.
And he's shooting anti-Semites. He's doing, he must be so pissed.
I would be so livid. Oh my god. He finally gets to relax. And this is like Shrek not the fourth.
Oh, this is some fucking Black Panther shit where the CIA just fabricated crimes they did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
This is you hate this guy so much you make them a monster that reasonably can't even exist.
Yeah. Insane. But it's just so frustrating that of all people to accuse them of starting an uprising, in this case with the Black Panthers.
Then there
CIA.
are Nestor's anti-Semitic deeds, partly recounted above, which speak for themselves, and the fact that the chairman of 3 of the 4 Makhnovist congresses were Jews.
Yeah.
I love anti-Semite. That's hilarious.
That's actually a good band name.
Yeah, yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
The AAS.
Ass.
Ask me later.
I get a lot of ass.
Later that same year, it's all kosher ass.
Ayo.
Later that same year, on July 21st, 1927, Nestor met with the Spanish anarchist Buenaventura Durruti and Francisco Ascaso. In that talk, Nestor maintained, rather prophetically, that conditions for an anarchist revolution were better in Spain than in Russia, as the Spanish anarchists had quote, a sense of organization which we lacked in Russia. It is when you say the Spain and so fucking organized, you're chaotic as fuck.
I mean, okay, it sounds like Nestor's like, okay, fair enough, but I feel like, bro, you cannot compare these situations.
Yeah, it is organization which assures the success in depth of all revolution. End quote. His concluding statement to the two was, quote, Makhno has never refused to fight.
That's true.
If I'm alive when you start your struggle, I'll be with you. Unfortunately, Nestor Makhno would not live to see the start of the 1936 Spanish Revolution. His final years were plagued by severe physical and psychological pain. The latter stemmed from the isolation he experienced from the chiefly Bolshevik slanders against him, and the fact that he, despite his efforts, never managed to learn French properly. From his Yeah, there we go.
I fucking told you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
It's hard. Yeah.
From his deep longing for home, as well as from his horrendous financial circumstances, being unable to work and having to rely on his wife's meager income as a domestic cleaner and laundry worker, and on donations from fellow anarchists and other sympathizers, and even those he'd often decline out of pride.
This is the same. Have you ever met like educated Ukrainian refugees who are like lawyers?
Yeah.
Now they have
professors. I've met two professors now.
Yeah, that work in like food
you should
service or
earn
something.
6 figures right now in Austria.
But
we need those too.
Yeah.
Except they don't speak the language.
No, they're barred from the.
Oh yeah, well these guys are these guys are.
But in this case, yeah,
it's just like
and the French hate it if you don't speak French.
Oh, they're worse than we are with English.
Yeah, no, they are.
Can you be? We'll see. I don't know. I'm looking forward to trying it out.
But damn.
Are you gonna learn French?
No, I'm gonna go to France though.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. I'm gonna vodka it over there.
Yeah.
He succumbed to his tuberculosis on May 25th, 1934. Cremated 3 days later, his ashes were interred in Père Lachaise, the cemetery of the Paris Commune, and 500 French, Russian, Spanish, and Italian anarchists attended his funeral. Though his wife was too overcome to speak. She and her daughter were arrested by the Nazis during the occupation of France and by the Russians after the war, and were sentenced to forced labor by both regimes.
Bro. That's tough. That's a tough ending. That is not fair.
That sucks.
To have both the Russians and the Nazis on your ass is a tough life, dude.
I'm.
You have to be like a certain year old and in a certain place to have both of those things happen to you. This is very unlucky.
Yeah.
It's the worst time to be alive.
Yeah.
Objectively the worst
hard
time.
to argue. Hard to argue.
I just...
Following the end of their sentences, they reunited in Taraz, Kazakhstan, where they lived until their respective deaths in 1978 and 1993. So they at least lived a long life.
Did the
mom and son?
Yeah. Did the daughter ever have any kids? Where are there living Botkos?
I don't know.
Like family members.
I'm guessing.
Because I'm kind of surprised that they had a daughter anyway. So that they had any kids. Considering the tuberculosis and considering every single aspect of their fucking lives.
Unlikely.
Unfucking likely, but I'd be curious. I'd be curious to see.
One sec. Makhno's relatives in Huliapol, meanwhile, kept being harassed by state authorities until the dissolution of the Soviet Union.
Yeah, fucking course.
Just because they are married to a guy who had a better idea.
Well, I mean, they also had the ideas.
Right. A statue of Nestor and a permanent exhibition in the local history museum can both be found in Huliapol, though the former is currently protected by sandbags and the later was damaged in a Russian shelling.
In a what?
Russian shelling. The war, right now.
Bombing.
It just got bombed again.
Even in death, this man cannot catch a break. Oh my God. History is repeating.
He's catching fire now. This guy. Yeah.
That's the only thing that didn't happen to him.
Yeah.
He's alive.
And more bullshit. Various Ukrainian nationalist groups have erroneously attempted to claim Makhno's legacy, likely basing themselves on baseless Bolshevik claims to that extent. You know, the whole anti-Semitism thing and everything else. All right.
They're using him as the reason to be
nationalist. Yeah.
Wow, that's fucked.
Various Bolshevik revisionist films depicted Nestor as a villainous gangster and a drunkard, though he did finally receive a positive depiction in the 2007 Russian miniseries 9 Lives of Nestor Makhno. Like a cat. That is a perfect. That is
He
perfect.
should, yeah. That's perfect, yeah.
That is
9 Lives of Living.
HBO remake. When?
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
I'd love to see like a feature film of, it's sort of like what they did with Jackie Kennedy, where it's like the days after JFK was shot, but it's them in Paris.
That would be great. Yeah,
it's like told through flashbacks.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Through the movement he inspired, Nestor Makhno showed the world that libertarian, egalitarian, democratic principles can be successfully applied in the midst of revolution and civil war, demonstrating that a social revolution must consist of more than exchanging one boss for another, and conclusively and completely disproving any claims made by later-day Marxists that the terrors of Lenin and Trotsky were a necessity born out of the objective circumstances of the civil war, rather than a natural result of their authoritarian Marxist ideology.
Yeah, so he kept what he believed, even though stuff was going down. I respect that.
Yeah.
And here's a last quote by Percy Bysshe Shelley. "The man of virtuous soul commands not, nor obeys. Power, like a desolating pestilence, pollutes whatever it touches, and obedience, bane of all genius, virtue, freedom, and truth, makes slaves of men and of the human frame, a mechanized automaton."
Shout out to Mary Shelley's husband.
The Lesser Shelley.
Yeah, the Lesser Shelley. That's what they make a movie about him called The Lesser Shelley.
So yeah, this was the history and life of Nestor Makhno and the failed attempt of having a good ending for
What
Ukraine.
a man. What a man.
Yeah.
What would have happened if he won? If they just totally murked everybody, they'd have their own anarchist state?
Yeah. There would be on the Azov Sea, there would now be a
Whoa.
Everyone would clap, and this
libertarian.
would be it would be like that autonomous zone in where was that, in Washington?
In Seattle?
In Seattle.
Okay, that's a little bit of a stretch, right? I mean, like, that was like a bunch of hippies in tents and stuff like that.
This is more.
This is more. This is
This is more
bigger.
than that.
With more guns.
millions.
This is more directly democratic than the fucking Swiss are.
That
is
is
crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, and
That's insane.
millions, 2 million people?
At the first one, and then at its biggest size, it controlled over 7 million people.
Wow.
So
Oh, yeah, you said getting... Okay, wow.
Well, not controlled. That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just let 7
Represented.
million people be. That is the funniest thing. Just the let live and let die. No, that is the James Bond thing. No.
Live and let die.
Is it doomed, though? Is it as soon as you want to have, like, this kind of anarchism, is it just doomed? Historically, it is.
Yes.
Kind of.
I mean, the moment you fuck with the money, which they did.
Yeah.
I feel
because the communists don't fuck with the money. They just replace the boss with a different boss.
Yeah.
They're more or less a private military firm for
for peasants.
Well, I mean the Soviet state was more or less just a very intense enforcement of any rules that benefit whoever makes the most money, or whoever
has the most power.
Yeah, pretty much. But I almost wonder, like, since everyone always says that, like, everything that's happening in Gaza right now, that nobody will ever be satisfied with a solution because there's just so much bad blood on either side.
That's bullshit.
It is bullshit, but I'm saying a lot of people believe that.
Oh no, I get why they believe it. Yeah, of course.
And there has been a lot of fucked up shit that has happened there, and I almost wonder if Ukraine and Russia are almost doomed to a similar fate, where it's just constant jockeying for power and constant. There's bad blood, there's bad history in so many ways. At the very least, I think that this mentality could be more effectively grafted into the area we are right now, because fucking Putin is never gonna stop trying to vouch for power. Like, he's never gonna stop doing that.
No. Well, he will when he's dead.
Someone else is gonna fucking take it.
Yeah.
Like there's always gonna be another one.
Yeah, there will be a Frunze or whatever his name is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or there's gonna be a Wrangel. Or
Exactly. Yeah.
There's
or
always
Nikki. Yeah. There's always an asshole.
Yeah. And it makes you sort of think like if it is possible, definitely not there. Definitely not in fucking Ukraine or Russia.
Despite all of it, his achievements speak for themselves, though. Like, by having literally everything pointed against you and you still persevering, that is insane to me. That is some crazy. That's some. Unabomber eluding
don't compare him to
I
the
don't know
Unabomber.
anybody who like hid from the authorities that long and was a good guy. You know, it's hard to find a guy who's a good guy but also was like running away from the cops.
The Unabomber is not that guy.
No, I know, but I don't know anybody. Edward Snowden. Yeah, but we know him and he
Yeah, he's not we also know who Botka was. He wasn't hiding his face.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he put his money where his mouth was, and he had no money. So, he had literally nothing, and he just kept doing it. And he was literally punished every single step of the way.
Super interesting guy.
Very interesting guy.
I want a t-shirt of him shooting that guy in the mouth.
Yeah. It's also so tragic, too, because like there must have been on some level, like, some sort of doubt if not in the back of his brain, maybe in the back of his wife's, where it's like this has to be a losing battle. Yeah. Like they've done fucking amazingly.
Again, 24 battles in 24 days.
Yeah. Like they were fucking determined, but there must have been
crazy as shit.
Like every single step of the way punished. Every single step of the way, not a single, even after they had completely stepped out. Not safe from it. And then you got motherfucking like champagne socialists in Paris calling him a fucking anti-Semite.
That is. Dude, his head must have been like, I wish I could murder you right now. I wish I could do the mouth shooting thing right now.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
It's a tough ending.
Yeah. It's just like,
it's still good that he made it out. It's still good that he didn't get immediately punished. It's fucked up what happened to his
wife and daughter got punished instead.
No, that is insane.
For the crime of existing.
Yeah, because
specifically the daughter.
I'm guessing also because they couldn't flee to America because they had a very firm anti-anarchist stance.
Yeah, there's no way America was going to let them in. Yeah, that was never going to happen.
Yeah. Maybe something in South America, and even then.
How are they going to get South America? How are they going to get that? With a passport?
Money, and the money for the boat as well.
Are you going to smuggle him?
Yeah. So, no, this is all fucked up. But super fascinating. Ben, you totally pulled through in this part 2 and part 3.
Genuinely interesting guy.
This was amazing. Thank you so much.
Very interesting stuff.
You did a bang-up job. Yeah. Like, this is...
Thank you,
fucking
Ben.
Involved.
Yes. Thanks, Ben.
Yes. Now, Terence, after this 3-hour ordeal...
Tell us your thoughts.
We started a month ago.
True, we did.
This was 24 battles in 24 days.
Yeah, dude.
We haven't left this room in over a month.
24 battles against cancer.
24 battles against on the wall. 24 battles. Bring that joke back.
Yes.
I had cancer. I don't even know if they know that. It's been so long since I've spoken to this audience. I don't know. I had cancer.
Oh, yeah, true.
I think...
is this better or worse than cancer?
It's about the same.
So it's cancer neutral.
Longer than you think it is. It came back and I didn't want it to.
Also, your last name is a pretty good description of Batko himself.
Hartnett.
Yeah,
hard nice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hartnett.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go ha.
Ha.
Ha. That's his life.
The moment when he shoots a guy.
Yeah.
Ha.
Ha.
Take that, anti-Semite.
Hartnett.
I'm thinking of your username.
Hartnett.
That's what I think of.
And I'm Hartnett on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's a good time to point that out.
Links are in the description below, as always.
Super.
Same as 19 pages of Ben's writings.
You can get the writing online?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, we always make it available.
Yeah. No, I want to have the sources right there so that the people can check it out themselves
Yeah, that's
and
good.
steal
That's
it
good.
for their, for university paper.
Bro.
Plagiarize, get in trouble.
Yeah, can you imagine finding this, like being like a procrastinator and finding this podcast while you're writing on paper? You'd be like, this is pretty fun, actually. This is not bad. Like, compared to school, this is more fun. Compared to comedy, this is less fun.
Because it's still real history.
It's a little hybrid.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
I would say it's a good hybrid.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the fun.
It's the Frankenstein we can all enjoy.
The fun part is that like you get to most people are not ever gonna think about this motherfucker.
Never gonna hear about him.
Never
Yeah.
have even heard about this guy, and we get to make this very important essential history accessible to wider audiences.
Yeah, respect that.
Also,
Hopefully.
there's very little images to find of Leopold online. I really tried to search for them. They're just not there. Even if I use Ukrainian and all that stuff.
Are they being like suppressed?
No, it's just because it's such a poor
Wow.
neighborhood.
Donate
and it
to
was
us.
fucked by the Russians during communism.
Wow.
Donate to us on
There's
Patreon.
basically nothing out there.
And we
Wow.
will go there in person and take pictures.
So there's a
for
chance
photojournalism.
there might be a chance that I might actually be touring close to the battle line next year. We'll see about it. It's still in talks with other comedians right now.
Oh, shit.
That we do a mini documentary while we're touring in Ukraine.
I was joking, but actually give him money. I'm not joking. This is
We'll see if it's actually going to happen. But yeah, Leopold in this case would be.
That's
That
crazy.
would be crazy if we
Take
could
as
do
many
a show.
pictures and document it.
Yes.
What are you doing? Do you want to?
What are you
That's my question.
Well, presumably comedy. He said comedy.
Yeah, and how and where and why?
He's gonna become the president of Ukraine.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Redux, Austrian Redux edition.
Yeah.
Huh? No, I just have other comedians that one guy who already had a tour a year ago in the Ukraine, in the free parts of it at least.
How large are those
I think
parts?
that's still like 80% of all of Ukraine, but I think the closest they ever went to the battle line was like 30 or 40 kilometers, which is straight
Close.
up in artillery range. Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
Do a stand-up show on the battlefront.
Basically, that's what they did. Yeah,
They do it for the soldiers.
and the people. Well, no, mostly the people.
I would hope.
It's mostly for the civilians there because they need something to
fucking
laugh
need
at.
something.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine being a touring stand-up comedian during the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
16
crushing.
sets. You can rewrite your set so many times.
Yeah.
You visit Leopold every time it gets taken over by a new overlord.
You could open for the meetings. You could get, really close the meetings out with a nice laugh.
No. They close their own.
Actually, right. The closer.
You can open.
Yeah, you can't follow that closer that they
Yeah.
had. Yeah.
You can't be like, what's the
Shut
deal?
through the heart, and I don't care.
You give communism a bad name. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much for listening.
Thank
See
you for having
at the
me.
next episode. Thank you so much, Terence, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure.
Loved it.
We will talk significantly less next
See
time.
you at season 2
Season 2,
next
babe.
year, starting.
Oh,
in
this is the season
2024.
finale?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
All
were
right.
our finale. Yeah,
Happy to do it.
You finished us off.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Same
Cheers.
as Batko did. All
Yeah.
right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Nice.